Test, 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 test. Test, 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 test. Test. Testing. Testing. Good afternoon, Tiger fans. We're here at Klein Family Field for the first of what is scheduled to be 2 games today between the Northern Colorado Bears and your Pacific Tigers. We decided, due to the rain and the fact that a passing storm may be joining us here in the latter innings, to forgo the usual introductions, and we're just going to play ball here. We had a national anthem about 5 minutes ago, and now we're ready for first pitch with Will Leiden on the mound today for the Orange and Black. He comes into the game with an 0-2 record and a 3.86 ERA. And he will face the leadoff batter for the Bears, the second baseman, number 6, Ryan Yamane. Leiden comes set and looks like he's going to fire the first pitch pretty soon here, so we'll give you some stats afterwards. Leiden's first pitch is in there for strike 1, and we're underway. So pleasure to be here with you today on this Friday afternoon. The games were moved up due to the threat of impending weather this weekend. Leiden delivers. That one misses low, so count at 1-1. We're hoping to get as much baseball in as we can this weekend. It is scheduled to be a pretty historic rainfall amount for the San Joaquin Valley, as Leiden comes set and throws, and that one misses low. But around here, we have a saying that we're just going to get in as much baseball as possible. We want to play. Teams are out here sprinkling batting practice, and they're good to go. Doesn't faze them. As that one misses low, so the count is 3-1. Leiden, in his first start at home, was actually excellent against Northwestern. Pitched 7 innings, but took the loss. 17 strikeouts on the year so far. Struck out 7 in that loss to the Wildcats here on Friday night. Leiden's pitch misses outside. So after getting strike 1, Leiden misses there, and the leadoff hitter Yamane is on for Northern Colorado. Batting second for the Bears is third baseman number 5, Tyler Yamaguchi. Comes into the season hitting .237 on the young season, 4 doubles and a pair of RBI. So Northern Colorado and Pacific have both struggled a bit this year, to the tune of 2-7 records. Northern Colorado, a baseball-only member of the WAC conference. They were here earlier they were in California earlier this week at Cal State Northridge before making the trek up I-5 to come play the Tigers. It's the first meeting between these two ball clubs, as that one misses low. Leiden checks on Yamane at first. He has 2 stolen bases, 2 for 2 this year, so a good idea to check on the runner there, as Northern Colorado already with thoughts of an early rally here. This time he comes to the plate, and Yamaguchi swings, taps one to third. Wagner will go to second for 1. They can't complete the double play, but the lead runner is out for the Tigers. So a good play by J.J. Wagner to kind of corral that one. I don't know if the viewers here can tell, but there is a bit of a fast infield because of the rain, and there is a bit of a dry patch right over by third base where that ball kind of bounced up. So it was a good play by JJ to corral that one before it might have skipped over his head into the outfield. So now Leiden faces Cole Maltese, the center fielder number 7 for the Bears. He's hitting only 152 on the season with just 5 hits and 33 at-bats. But 3 RBI power. He does also lead the lineup in strikeouts. He's fanned 16 times this season. So Leiden will try to add to his strikeout total right here as the meat of the order steps to the plate. That one is going to be through the left side, and just as I talked about, it hits a lip of the infield where there's a bit of a dry patch and kind of takes an awkward bounce into left field where Danny Mayer corrals it before it goes for extra bases. But there you go. Just like that, we see the influence of kind of a rough field here today in these tough conditions. Batting cleanup now for UNC with runners at first and second is going to be the left fielder number 22, Nick Tanner. He's hitting .208 on the season, 5 hits and 24 at-bats. So Leiden now with runners at first and second, as Tanner is going to step out for a second and take time. Not quite the start the Tigers envisioned, but still a lot of room to get a double play ball here and get out of the inning without much damage. Leiden delivers. That one is kind of forked over into left field where it's going to go down the line. Mayer fumbles it a little bit, and by the time that he's able to get to it, a run has scored here for Northern Colorado as they'll plate the opening salvo. It's 1-0 on Nick Tanner's RBI double down the left field line. That one was just hit off the end of the bat. Kind of took it the other way. A good piece of hitting there by the left fielder for the Bears, and that brings up Brett Minnick, the first baseman, number 32, who again has struggled so far this year, hitting just 194 in 31 at-bats. But he is the power leader on this Bears team with 2 homers. Get you a little bit more on the Bears as that one misses low and outside. The left-handed hitter, Brett Minnick, slugging .387, is another guy that strikes out a little bit with 15 strikeouts so far on the young season, second on the team to Tanner. As that one is in there for strike 1. Northern Colorado, of course, is a team that plays in a cold weather environment in Greeley, Colorado. So they've escaped the cold by coming here to Stockton. Unfortunately, they were met with our largest rainstorm so far of 2016 against Northridge last weekend in sunny Southern California. They won 1 of 4 games down there, taking the last game of the series by a final tally of 3-2. As that one is in for strike 2. They've yet to make their home debut. They will open up their home schedule on March 11th against South Dakota State. So a little bit of a barnstorming here for this Bears team, who played at Wichita, at Kansas State, and then made the trek to SoCal last weekend. As Leiden comes set and delivers. That one is tapped back to Leiden and to the shortstop Sandry, who throws over to Verlin at first base. And that will plate another run. So an RBI ground out off the bat of Brett Minnick has made it 2-0 in favor of the Bears. But in that situation, the way it was hit, and again, another awkward angle off the pitcher's mound, I think the Tigers are happy to take the out. And that brings up Rob Cashel, the right fielder, number 26. He's actually the best average hitter in this lineup right now with 8 hits and 30 at-bats, 3 RBI. So in a game that we're not sure how much of it will get played or what kind of weather conditions we might see later in the day, I think Northern Colorado has the mindset they're out here hitting and they're manufacturing runs, and they've done so nicely so far. As Leiden misses a little bit outside and low on that one, so 1-0. Northern Colorado in navy blue tops with yellow lettering and a Colorado flag patch on the sleeve, which is kind of a unique thing. The Tigers have a California flag patch on their hats this year, which is another unique little way to brand the squads, as that one sails out of play for a foul ball, and it's going to be 1-1. Tigers in their orange tops today with white pants, black socks. Leiden himself is rocking the stirrups look, but it's varied. Most of the players are wearing the long pants. Leiden and the second baseman, Louis Mejia, are the only ones that are rocking the high socks today, as that one misses low. It's a trend that's going away a little bit in baseball. I think the high socks are no longer as cool as they used to be. Everyone wants to get the low pant look, and especially in this weather, can you really blame them? As that one is swung on and fouled back off the bat of Cashel. So 2-1 here to the right fielder for this Northern Colorado squad. Leiden delivers, and that one is swung on and missed. So down goes Cashel, and that will end the frame. So a nice job by Will Leiden to kind of limit the damage there against the hottest hitter on this Northern Colorado Bears squad. So after one, it is 2 runs on 2 hits and no errors for Northern Colorado. Pacific coming up. You're listening to the Pacific Digital Network and the W.TV. Back here on the Pacific Digital Network for this contest, this matinee really between the Northern Colorado Bears and your Pacific Tigers. Fans, we'd like to remind you that Lincoln Center is Stockton's premier shopping and dining destination. Enjoy boutique shopping, our award-winning restaurants, and a family-friendly atmosphere. Conveniently located at Pacific Avenue in Ben Holt, less than 15 minutes from the University of the Pacific campus. Visit LincolnCenterShops.com for a list of stores that offer a discount to all Pacific students. Lincoln Center, always in style. And with that, we will bring you the first pitch at the bottom of the first as Kevin Sandry, the freshman, steps to the dish, facing Connor Leadholm, the hurler for the Bears. And Leadholm's first pitch misses low. Leadholm is a product of Lakewood, California, and Lakewood High School, so the same area that has produced some Tigers in the Denver area. Eric Lockwood, for one, as Leadholm's pitch is tapped up the middle by Sandry, so the Tigers' leadoff hitter is on with a single up the middle. Didn't even really get you a chance to tell you about the promising freshman Sandry, but he'll have some at-bats later. We'll get into his hot start, as that will bring up Nate Verlin, the first baseman for the Tigers today. So I think, again, you're seeing a pretty early in the count approach from these hitters. I don't think anyone's waiting for their pitch in this kind of environment. They want to get on board and get runs in. If this is a shortened game because of weather, that's something that they want to be acutely aware of. With really, even in our pregame meeting between the coaches, it started raining again, and you kind of had the look on head coach's Mike New's face where he was basically like, "Are you kidding me? Is it really raining again?" So we're playing in a very short window here between storms. So I think that's why you're seeing some of these early in the count swings from both teams so far, as Leadholm delivers and Verlin fouls one off. Nate Verlin, the Stockton product, out of Lincoln High School, so really in his own backyard, obviously a talented prospect here for the Tigers, as the Tigers really do have a lot of guys right here from the 209 and the San Joaquin Valley. Leadholm's pitch is swung on, and a little bit of a foul back by Verlin. That'll make it 1-2. Again, as we mentioned, the first meeting between these two squads, so really an opportunity for the Tigers to get to know this Northern Colorado ball club, as we are scheduled for 4 games over this weekend. A doubleheader today and single game Saturday and Sunday. Of course, that's weather permitting. As Leadholm comes set and tries his pickoff move over to first, but Sandry back in plenty of time. We'll have games for you all weekend as the Tigers make their second home series of the year. Leadholm misses low, so 2-2 on the count. Verlin hitting .324 so far this season with 11 hits, 4 runs, and a triple, 4 RBI. Leadholm will go to first again. Verlin has really been the standout in this Tigers order. Him and Gio Brusa really have been the run producers so far this season. Danny Mayer also getting into the fray with some big performances, especially in the Cal Poly weekend, as that one misses low and outside. Count is now full at 3-2 as the umpire is flashing to us here. The scoreboard is updated through an XML data file that is just automatically updated, so sometimes it lags a little bit, which explains why he was perplexed there. As that one is through the right side, so the Tigers have runners at first and second with no out. So a great start for this Pacific Ball Club here in the bottom of the first inning, and that brings the Tigers' hottest hitter so far, Danny Mayer, to the dish. So if you're Coach Mike New, you got to love the way that this is starting for the Orange and Black. Mayer hit a home run in Game 1 of the doubleheader against Northwestern last weekend. had 3 RBI on the weekend and scored 4 runs and also doubled in Game 2 of that doubleheader. So a real nice performance here from the senior from Downers Grove, Illinois, as that one is swung on and missed. Check that Mayer is a junior, so we'll get to enjoy watching him play for another year. Lead home comes set, looks back to second, but Sandry's not going anywhere, and he delivers. And Mayer with a drive into left field off the left field wall, and that is going to plate that's going to plate 1 run, and it's going to send Verlin to third. Mayer scoots into second with no problem, so the Tigers have a run in and 2 runners in scoring position for Gio Brusa, and that's really the situation that they want right now with their big RBI threat up with 2 runners in scoring position and no one out here at Klein Family Field. So Liedholm is going to have to seek some adjustments because he's just getting battered around. It's not anything ridiculous. It's not a power output by these Tigers, but they're making solid contact and they're getting holes. So it's really going to be up to Liedholm to see if he can bear down the hatches here against the Tigers' top prospect, Gio Brusa, as that one misses low. Of course, Brusa has been talked about ad nauseum around these parts as the guy that is really the Tigers' biggest threat and a potential first-round draft pick last year. He was injured for part of the year and ended up deferring his draft position and signing with the Tigers for his senior year. A little bit of unfinished business for the youngster as that one is poked through the hole in left field, and that scores Verlin. So the hit parade continues here in Stockton as the Tigers have tied it up with 4 consecutive singles to start the bottom of the first inning. Gio Brusa joining the fray. So runners on the corners and no out. And that brings up the sophomore catcher, Lucas Halstead. Halstead playing right field today. Not catching, but the point remains that this is a great situation for Pacific to potentially have a huge inning here and break this one open. Liedholm really not showing anything of substance. His pitching coach is out trying to tell him, hey, look, just pitch, get outs, be smart, don't let it get to your head, because he really has just been serving up some decent pitches. It's just a matter of Pacific has been finding holes. I mean, the double off the bat of Mayer was hard hit, but everything else has just been infield, through the right or left side of the infield. So up steps the sophomore right fielder today, Lucas Halstead. Halstead hitting .278 on the year with 10 hits, 8 runs scored, 3 doubles, and only 1 RBI thus far. He steps to the plate to some Johnny Cash, a nice walk-up music choice by the youngster. Liedholm looks inside to his catcher, Jake Garcia, behind the dish today. And that one misses a little bit outside. 1-0 count. With the long weekend ahead here, with 4 games in 3 days and, starting and stopping games, things like that could happen, I think really if you're Northern Colorado's staff right now, you want to avoid a bullpen game. You really need a guy who can get you into the 6th or 7th, as that one's tapped to shortstop, and the shortstop, Jacob Eck, steps on second for 1 and throws over to first, for the double play. So a outstanding play there for Northern Colorado, but it does give Pacific the 3-2 lead as Mayer scores from third base. So Tigers now in the lead with 3 runs, but that does clear the bases, and I think Northern Colorado will take that 10 times out of 10, especially early here where we've seen both teams hitting. So that one misses a little bit low. You position your defense at double play depth with a runner at third base for those type of situations. It's always good in a one-run game or a late inning situation to get that runner in a pickle from third base. But this early in the game, you take the double play 10 times out of 10, and that's what we saw there. I think Liedholm now pitching with a little bit of renewed confidence that, okay, I can get outs. It's the same kind of grounders that I've been getting all day, but now they're finding gloves, and that's what he's going to need to do if he's going to go long in this game. Luis Mejia steps up now, the Tiger second baseman today, as that one will find grass in center field. So Mejia with the 5th hit of the game for the Tigers here in the first inning. And that brings up third baseman number 11, J.J. Wagner. Wagner's seen action in all 9 games, starting all 9, with 7 hits, 2 runs scored, a double, and 1 home run on the season. Wagner, part of the senior class that also includes Mejia and Yekel in this lineup. So the Tigers have their seniors stacked 6, 7, and 8 here in the latter part of the lineup, looking for some experienced production with 2 down. Liedholm comes set, but kind of steps off the mound a little bit, touches his cap, comes set, fires over to first base, nothing doing there. Liedholm comes set yet again, looks in and delivers. Wagner gives that one a little bit of a ride, and it's over the head of the center fielder, Cole Maltese. So that one's going to roll all the way to the wall. Coming in to score is Luis Mejia, and that is an RBI triple for J.J. Wagner. So, wow, what a start here for the Tigers, who have now plated 4 runs on 6 hits in the first. The hit parade just keeps on coming. Liedholm thought he might have been out of it, and that one was given a ride. I thought for a chance that the center fielder Maltese would have a play on it, but it just sailed over his head. I think the wind might have given it a little bit of a carry, and there you go. Tigers up 4-2 with J.P. Yekel stepping to the dish. That brings up the senior catcher, J.P. Yekel, hitting 136 on the year with 3 hits and 22 at-bats, 4 RBI. No activity yet in this Northern Colorado pen, but you got to think that if they want to salvage a Game 1 victory here, they're going to need someone to get them some outs. As Liedholm misses with that one. Northern Colorado this year has picked up just 2 victories, same as the Tigers. Their 2 Northern Colorado victories were over Cal State Northridge and at Wichita State on the first weekend of the season. They got a 4-3 win after falling 11-0 and 17-2 in their first 2 games of the year. So that one misses again, so it's a 2-0 count to Yekel. Northern Colorado picked 8th in the WAC by the vote of the coaches. They made it to Mesa last year for the WAC tournament, kind of surprising a few people that thought they would be in the cellar of the WAC, which is actually a very unique conference, which we'll get to a little bit later. That one misses outside, so a 3-0 count to Yekel with the Tiger center fielder Jimmy Boris waiting on deck. The WAC is a baseball conference that's taken in a lot of competitors from the Big Sky, which is a conference that does not have baseball as a sponsored sport. So you'll see teams like Sacramento State, Northern Colorado play in the WAC for baseball, as that one is in their 4-strike-1. North Dakota is also a squad that competes in the WAC for baseball only. Always a good time. The conference championship is hosted by Grand Canyon down in Mesa, Arizona, at one of the very nice spring training venues in the Phoenix region, as that one is in there for strike 2. So this Northern Colorado squad hoping to end their season with a trip down to Mesa. Liedholm's pitch is, the miss is a little bit high, so runners will be on the corners with 2 out for Jimmy Boris. Tigers have now sent 9 hitters to the plate in the bottom of the first inning. Boris has kind of been that prototypical second leadoff hitter, you could say, for this Tiger squad. Hitting 9th, he's kind of been able to be a table setter with 3 runs scored and 30 at-bats. He has a steal and a triple on the year, so kind of the prototypical 9 kind of hitter, getting it back to the top of the lineup. Him and Sandry have had great starts to the year. As it looks like that is going to be it for Connor Liedholm. I didn't see anyone warming up in the pen, but a little bit hidden here at Klein Family Field. So it's going to be just the .2 innings plus for Connor Liedholm, who was unable to get out of the first inning here. A little bit surprising when you consider he had averaged about 5 or 6 innings in his first 2 starts of the year. giving up only 5 earned runs. So he's given up basically his season output in 1 inning here. Looks like coming in to pitch for the Bears is going to be number 25, Jacob Howard, on the hill now. Get you some of the stats on Howard. But again, not what you want if you are Carl Iwasaki, the head coach of the Bears. You didn't want to go into your bullpen this early, especially with the threat of weather and the prospect of a long weekend here in the Port City. Howard has appeared in 2 games so far this season with 3 innings pitched. He gave up 2 earned runs on 2 hits and 4 strikeouts. He's holding opponents to just 182 batting average. He's hit 1 batter. Jacob Howard is a junior out of Puyallup, Washington. So a junior college transfer from Skagit Valley Junior College in the Pacific Northwest. This Northern Colorado squad really features players from all over the West. Players from the Bay Area, from Southern California, Wyoming, Hawaii, Seattle area, Utah. Got some players from Montana. A lot of community college transfers. Almost as many community college transfers, it looks like, as high school guys. Not a lot of D1 transfers. They do have Maltese, who is a transfer from Pepperdine, which, of course, is a conference rival of Pacific and a strong program down there in Malibu. So it's going to be up to Jimmy Boris to see if he can continue this inning and put an even more crooked number up there for the Tigers. Howard behind the mound, kind of checking on his defense, making sure they're set with the number of outs. Just walking slowly to the hill, rocking the stirrups, the high socks look, blue and yellow with the blue jersey with yellow lettering, kind of reminiscent of the California Golden Bears. A little bit of the same look. As he comes set, fires that one in, and it's strike 1. So Howard immediately, wasting no time, pounding the strike zone here. Boris, of course, the nephew of baseball super agent Scott Boris. He's probably negotiated your favorite player's deal at some point over the life of their careers. But here he's in a big spot, looking to drive in 2-out RBIs. That one is tapped off the shin of Jimmy Boris for strike 2, I'm sorry. Boris out of Sacramento. Jesuit High School in the Sacramento suburb of Carmichael. Howard comes set, looks to first. Fires. That one is swung on and missed for strike 3. So Howard comes in and limits the damage here for Northern Colorado, but it's a little bit too late as Pacific plates 4 runs on 6 hits in the bottom of the first inning. We'll be back on the Pacific Digital Network and the W.TV with your Tigers in the lead 4-2. Back here on the Pacific Digital Network, fans, we'd like to remind you about our fireworks nights. Don't forget to mark your calendars for fireworks nights on April 9th, May 7th, and May 14th. The time of each first pitch is 6 p.m., and there will be fireworks here at Bill Simone Field at Klein Family Field 3 times this year, so be sure to join us for that as Leiden misses outside. Also, don't forget that every Tuesday home game is Dollar Dogs here at Klein Family Field. All hot dogs just $1 on Tuesday home games. That one is in there. Oh, it misses, so it's going to be 1-1 to the Northern Colorado 7-hitter, designated hitter today, Marco Castilla. Castilla is a product of Littleton, Colorado. So a local Denver area guy going up to Greeley. That one misses outside. So it's going to be a 4-pitch walk to Castilla to open up the frame. So after the Tigers go and get 4 runs for Leiden, he leads it off with a walk, not what you want if you are Mike New and this Tigers staff. It's going to be Jacob Eck, the shortstop, who made a nice play on the double play that really helped Liedholm get through the middle part of that inning. Unfortunately, he was not able to complete the frame, but that was a big play. Now we'll see Eck on offense looking to get something going here with no out as that one misses outside. Fans, also don't forget that every Sunday here at Klein Family Field is Sunday Fun Day. Kids 12 and under are invited to run the bases and get autographs from the team in a post-game autograph session. So we have a lot of cool promotions this season. We'd hope that you'll join us here at Klein Family Field for as many games as possible. You can visit PacificTigers.com for tickets and information. And, of course, if you're not able to make it out to the yard, we will be with you here for every home game on the Pacific Digital Network and the W.TV. Leiden checks the runner at first and looks inside to his catcher, Yakel. That one is going to be tapped to the shortstop, Sandry, who flips it to Mejia at second. A little bit of an awkward throw there from Mejia, and it's in the dirt. Verlin not able to corral it. So just the one on the fielder's choice. It goes 6-4, and that brings up the catcher, number 12, Jake Garcia. Garcia hitting just 67 on the year. Not even a 1 in front of that at this point. Kind of on the schneid a little bit through the first 7 games that he's played in. 1 hit, a double, and 8 strikeouts. So with a runner at first here looking to potentially get one through this infield, that one will miss a little bit high. From the world of other Pacific athletic events, we'd like to report to you that the Pacific softball team took home a 4-3 victory over Boise State and then followed it up in their second game of the day with an 8-0 win over Montana at the Husky Classic in Seattle. So a nice start to the weekend for Brian Colsey's squad. Tigers now 9-8 on the season. Rachel Sellers had a great game, going 6 for 6. A great day through both games, 6 for 6 with 3 doubles and 3 RBI, including a home run. That one misses a little bit low and outside. It's going to be a 2-0 count. So Leiden not exactly getting the edge of the strike zone that he'd want from the home plate umpire, Scott Latender, but kind of having to nibble through it in the bottom of this order. That one's fouled off from Garcia, so it's 2-1. Leiden looks over to first base, but the runner Eck back with plenty of time to spare. Garcia gives that one a ride, but the right fielder is there. So the Tigers get a nice double play as Halstead makes a nice grab in right field and throws over to Verlin at first to catch Eck napping off of first. A inning-ending double play limits any thought of a rally for the Bears. A very nice play for the two Tiger sophomores. And that ends the frame, so we'll go to the bottom of the second with the score Pacific 4, Northern Colorado 2. You're listening to the Pacific Digital Network and the W.TV. Back here on the W.TV and the Pacific Digital Network, I'm Curran McCauley, proud to bring you Pacific Tigers baseball as we start the weekend with a little bit of a scheduled change matinee, trying to avoid some of this weather that is going to be approaching this weekend. We've got a 2:30 start time today for Pacific and Northern Colorado as the leadoff hitter Kevin Sandry steps back to the dish. Sandry singled in his first at-bat. Sandry thus far in 2016, as just a freshman, has really impressed as he's on a 5-game hitting streak. He's been one of the hottest hitters on this Pacific squad coming into the game coming into the game plus that last at bat, 11 hits, as he waves at that one from Howard. Tigers really like what they see in the young shortstop. After losing the Sullivan brothers last year, kind of had to replenish the middle infield, replenish shortstop, and did a great job of it, as that one is a little bit high. Garcia actually got out of his crouch to catch that one, so would have been hard to justify that that was a strike. Howard comes set. Sandry up the middle past shortstop Eck, and that is his second hit of the game. So again, a very nice start here from Kevin Sandry. He's now 2 for 2 on the day as Pacific looks to put up another big number here in the second after what really was a nice first inning with everyone hitting. Already 7 hits in this ball game in an inning plus. And that brings up Verlin. Howard with a big loopy delivery comes set and kind of has a leg kick to it as that one is hit right to the second baseman who flips over to Eck at shortstop. Back to first for the double play. So a 4-6-3 double play between Eck, Yamane, and the first baseman Minnick will neutralize the threat there. Just a routine double play grounder went 4-6-3, and that brings up Danny Mayer for his second at-bat of the contest. So not really what the Tigers were looking for there, but good on Howard to get the ground ball. It really wasn't much of Liedholm's fault. He was getting ground balls. They were just finding holes, and then the big swings off the bat of Mayer and off the bat of Wagner did him in. But for the most part, there were some dribblers and some balls that just found holes. As that one will be roped into left field off the bat of Mayer, but the left fielder, Nick Tanner, is there for the out. And that will end the second inning. Tigers get the leadoff hitter on a Sandry single, but nothing across. We'll head to the top of the third with the score Pacific 4, Northern Colorado 2. You're listening to the Pacific Digital Network and the W.TV. Leading off the inning for Northern Colorado is going to be the leadoff hitter, second baseman, Ryan Yamane. He fouls the first pitch off. That one misses a little bit low. One and one count to Yamane. That one is in there for strike two. So 1-2 to the Northern Colorado Bears leadoff hitter, Ryan Yamane. As we're here in the third inning, it's 4-2 Pacific as the Tigers were buoyed by a big first inning. Leiden comes set and delivers, and that one is swung on by Yamane and tapped to the second baseman, Mejia. He throws over to Verlin. The throw's a little bit wide, but Verlin is able to stay on the bag. So a routine play made a little bit harder due to a little bit of a wide throw, but the Tigers do get the first out of the inning as Leiden has kind of calmed down after a little bit of a shaky first inning and has really pitched well thus far. The batter now is Tyler Yamaguchi, the third baseman. Leiden looks into Yakel. That one's going to miss a little bit outside. Yamaguchi, in his first at-bat, hit into a fielder's choice. That one misses outside. Fans, a reminder that the Scholar Share Tiger Pack is back. For just $40, you can grab 4 tickets, 4 hot dogs, and 4 sodas to any Pacific baseball game. It's the best value in town. For more information about the Scholar Share Tiger Pack, head online to pacifictigers.com/tigerpack, as that one is in there for strike one. That one is rolled over to the third baseman, Wagner, who throws across the diamond to Verlin for out number 2. So 2 quick ground ball outs for Will Leiden. Leiden out of Lodi, California, in his junior year here for the Pacific Tigers after really what was a stellar sophomore campaign, kind of ended up being one of the anchors of this rotation along with Jake Jenkins. That brings up Colt Maltese for the Bears. In his last at-bat, he singled. And this time he will tap one into the hole where the shortstop Sandry makes a great attempt on a throw, but had to rush it as Maltese was heading down the line, and Verlin kind of has to jump to corral it, kept it from going into the stands, but that is going to be a single for Maltese here with 2 down, so he's 2 for 2 on the day. And that brings up the cleanup hitter, Nick Tanner. Tanner, his last at-bat, doubled and got an RBI in really what was Leiden's kind of rough patch of that first inning. Leiden comes set and delivers. That one missed, or that one, I'm sorry, is in there for strike one. So a 2-out single, an infield single off the bat of Maltese has given Northern Colorado a hit, but that one is swung on and missed. So a 0-2 count. That one misses a little bit high, so 1-2. The umpire is kind of giving the wave as if, to say it's 1-2, not 0-2. But again, we are operating under an XML. It takes a while to populate there. It's going to be a stolen base for Maltese. Tigers weren't really interested in throwing down. It kind of had a great jump on it. So just like that, the Northern Colorado Bears do have a runner in scoring position. That is the third stolen base in 3 attempts for Maltese on the season. So a smart play to get in the scoring position there for the cleanup hitter, as Leiden will try to end this inning here with a strikeout. And that one is off the bat of Tanner and tapped over to Mejia, who throws over to Verlin. Nothing doing there for the Bears. So despite the 2-out single, nothing across for the visitors. We'll head to the bottom of the third inning with the score Pacific 4, Northern Colorado 2. You're watching the Pacific Digital Network and the W.TV. Welcome back to the Pacific Digital Network and the W.TV, as it looks like Gio Brusa will lead off the inning here for the Tigers, playing designated hitter today. Brusa in his first at-bat delivered an RBI single. That one misses low. Fans would like to remind you that it took 9 iterations and countless tries to get it right, but it's finally here. The perfection doesn't happen overnight. The mesquite bite and smoky finish of the new Smoke 9 wing. Try it before it disappears, only at Wingstop. Get at it. And I would like to say that I have tried that wing, and it is absolutely amazing. And that is not just because they're a sponsor. It actually is really good, as that one misses high. So it's 2-0 to Brusa. As Howard comes set, and Brusa skies one to deep center. At the track, it looks like Colt Maltese will make the play. Brusa really gave that one a ride, but it is out number 1 of the inning. Hit it to the deepest part of this yard. It's almost 415 feet out there. If that was in the power alleys, you're looking at a home run. But that's the one spot in this ballpark where you're not going to get one out unless you absolutely crush it. And Brusa just missed one there to the very edge of the warning track, and that brings up the right fielder Lucas Halstead. Halstead hit into a double play in his first at-bat, but it really didn't deter this Tiger offense as it went right back to work with the Mejia and Wagner combination leading to some runs. Howard's pitch misses a little bit outside, and it's 1-0. That one is also outside and a little bit high, 2-0. And that one will miss outside. So 3-0 here is Howard having trouble locating his spots against Halstead. Lucas Halstead for the Tigers has really been a bit of a jack of all trades here in his sophomore year, hitting in all spots in the lineup, playing catcher, playing right, doing a lot of good things for this squad, as that one's going to be strike one. Halstead, as we mentioned, out of Alamo, California, Monte Vista High School, so an East Bay product coming out to Stockton. So that one is chopped back to Howard, who's going to make the smooth throw to the first baseman, Nick Tanner. I'm sorry, the first baseman, Minnick, kind of had to come off the base and then step back on it. They really didn't want to mess that one up, so they were taking their time. Luis Mejia now up for the Tigers. He singled in his first at-bat. So Howard kind of riding the ship here for this Bears team after Liedholm was unable to get through that first inning. He's come in and delivered a couple scoreless innings thus far. As that one's through the left side, the third baseman, Tyler Yamaguchi, kind of just got hit with a rocket there and couldn't quite glove it. I don't think they'll rule that one an error, but it was a little bit close. It was hit extremely hard off the bat of Halstead, or I'm sorry, off the bat of Mejia, and they are going to give Mejia a single there as expected. And that brings up J.J. Wagner with a runner at first base. So Mejia is now 2 for 2. Him and Sandry are both 2 for 2 for this ball club. As Wagner steps up, you'll remember that Wagner had the RBI triple in the first inning that really broke open this inning and led to the demise of Liedholm's start. Wagner, one of these senior leaders for the Tigers, has really been a mainstay both at shortstop and third base throughout the years for this Pacific ball club. Product of Lodi out of St. Mary's High School right here in Stockton. Another one of the local boys made good, and there are a lot on this team from San Joaquin County. Howard checks the runner ever so slightly. Doesn't really seem that fazed by it. And that one is a big breaking pitch in there for strike one. I think that's the kind of consistent pitch that Howard's been looking for. I don't know if I would have been able to lay off that one as a hitter. It just seemed like it was ripe for the taking, but it did have some late movement and break. Looks like he's the type of pitcher that really relies on getting those breaking pitches across. Do not want to hang those, or those could be hit a long way. Howard with another pitch in there for strike two, so 2 quick strikes on Wagner. Howard wasting no time. He's not going to nibble you. He looks like he's coming right after these hitters. Howard gives a look over to Mejia at first, comes set, gets the sign, delivers. That one's a pitch out. Mejia knew it all the way. He wasn't even going. So 1-2, the count. Not a bad idea to see if you can get someone on that, but with 2 out, I think Mejia knows that he's pretty much only going on a hit and run. 1-2, as Howard looks in, comes set. Again with a pickoff move, but Mejia back in plenty of time. Again, the first of 2 games today here at Klein Family Field. We're going to have game 2 approximately 30 to 40 minutes after the conclusion of this one, weather permitting. Howard looks in, comes set, and again with the pickoff move. That one gets Mejia. So Mejia caught a little bit too far off the bag. A quick pickoff move from Howard, and Howard gets out of the inning with the pickoff. I did not see that coming, but a great play by the Bears pitcher to end the frame. And Wagner will come up again in the next inning. We will head to the top of the 4th with the score. Your Pacific Tigers 4, Northern Colorado 2. You're listening to the Pacific Digital Network and the W.TV. Back with you here on the Pacific Digital Network as Leiden's first pitch to Brett Minnick. Leiden comes set and delivers, and that one is going to be in there for strike one. So a 1-1 count to Minnick. Minnick tries to check his swing, but waves on that one. It was pretty clear. I don't think they're even going to do an appeal. 1-1. A 1-2 count now to Minnick. Minnick got the RBI ground out in his last at-bat as Leiden is in his delivery, but Minnick called time, so it's going to have to restart it. 2-2 is the count. Minnick chops one foul. Well foul. So we'll start over 2-2 to Minnick. Fans, the City of Stockton Municipal Utilities Department asks you to help with water quality and water conservation. Help us maintain clean rivers and clean delta for everyone by reporting any sewage or bad-smelling water in the street or water running in gutters. That one is fouled off by Minnick. Reporting possible problems helps everyone to maintain a clean water supply and a healthy environment. Call Stockton's 24-hour emergency service center at 209-937-8341. 2-2 is the count as Leiden comes set, delivers one into Minnick, and that one misses low. So full count on the first baseman for this Bears squad. Minnick out of Castle Rock, Colorado. Fouls this one off, so the battle continues between Leiden and Minnick. Northern Colorado, as we mentioned, in this WAC conference that has really become a bit of a different beast for baseball than it is for all sports, features New Mexico State, Grand Canyon, Seattle U, CSU Bakersfield, Sacramento State, Utah Valley, North Dakota. As that one is chopped to Wagner at third, Wagner throws across the diamond to Verlin for out number one, in addition to the newly minted UT Rio Grande Valley squad, Chicago State, and these Bears. So a bit of a conference for a lot of diverse geographical regions, and really all came together in this WAC conference for baseball, and it's been a pretty strong conference over the years because of just the assortment of teams. As the next hitter for Northern Colorado will be Rob Cashel, the right fielder. He struck out in his last at-bat, and he waves at that one. So Leiden has really gotten Minnick's number so far this Friday afternoon. Cashel takes a ball, so it's gonna, or a strike. I'm sorry, so it's gonna be 0-2 to Cashel. Leiden wasted no time against the right fielder for the Bears. And Cashel waves at that. So I think his first at bat he waved on 3 pitches as well. So 6 pitches, 6 strikes to Cashel, and that's going to be Leiden's second strikeout of the contest. That brings up Marco Castilla. Castilla was the one who drew a walk in his last at bat. A leadoff walk in the second, and here he chops one over to shortstop. Tough play for Sandry. He can't corral it. It was hit to a part of the infield where it looks like it might have been a tough play anyway. So we'll see what they rule that one. But he couldn't get a hand on it. And that's going to bring up Jacob Eck, the shortstop today. So they are going to rule that an error on the shortstop Sandry. So 2 for 2, but now an error. I think you almost have to give him an error there, but it was hit to a part of the field where it might have been an infield single anyway. But that's a judgment call made by the official score, and I definitely support it. As it looks like Leiden is going to take a peek over at first base. Two and 0 count to Eck. Leiden's pitch is in there for strike one, so a 2-0 to Eck. With 2 out, anything here would be unearned. That one is going to be hit back to Sandry, who's going to go underhand to Mejia for the out. So the Tigers get out of the inning on the fielder's choice. The error does not hurt Pacific. We will head to the bottom of the 4th inning with the score Pacific 4, Northern Colorado 2. You're watching the Pacific Digital Network and the W.TV. Back here on the Pacific Digital Network for the bottom of the 4th inning, J.J. Wagner will step in against Howard. Howard comes set, and that one misses low. As we mentioned a little bit earlier, Howard has kind of come in and righted the ship here for the Bears after what was a shaky first inning by Connor Liedholm. That one is in there for strike 2. I think the way that he's done it so far today is just by attacking the zone, coming inside, making these hitters work. He's not nibbling. He's getting strikes. He's getting strike 1. And he's really setting the tempo for all the at-bats. And I think that's what the Bears need here as the weekend will continue with 4 games. As that one's bunted by Wagner to third base. And what a beautiful bunt. It's going to roll foul just ahead of third base. Oh, man. That looked like a bunt single for Wagner, but it's going to go foul right in front of the third base bag. Can't really put one down any better than that. It just kind of rolled on what is a tough, muddy infield, and maybe the Tigers were hoping that that one would stick in the mud, but it rolled just foul. So a good idea from Wagner, but it's a 1-2 count. That one misses inside. It almost hit Wagner, so it's going to be a 2-2 count. little bit of a light rain falling here at Klein Family Field. So we're hoping to avoid a delay, but the rain has started it yet again as Jacob Howard begins to his windup here. Comes set, delivers, and Wagner with a little liner to third base. It's going to get into the glove of the third baseman, Yamaguchi, who throws over to first for the first out of the inning. So a nice at-bat from Wagner. He tried a couple different things there and made solid contact on it, but it's the first out of the inning, and J.P. Yackel steps up here. Howard at the belt, comes set, leg kick, delivers. That one misses well outside to Yackel. One and 0 is the count on J.P. Yackel, the Tiger senior. That one is going to miss high as well, so a 2-0 count to Yackel in his first at-bat today walked. Rain falling slightly harder here. It's still kind of more of a mist, not really a driving rain, as that one is going to be outside, so it's 3-0. Excellent Tiger ground crew here. Has done a good job of getting this field playable all weekend. And they're really trying to get as much game in as possible. We'll see if we have any potential delays here. But right now it's definitely a playable rain, as that one is going to be ball 4 off the bat, off the arm of Howard, and it's going to be a base runner for the Tigers with one out for Jimmy Boris. So if you're Northern Colorado here, you're going to be monitoring your pitcher to see, is he getting slippage on the ball? Is it too wet for him to get a good grip? Because that's the kind of thing that you can bring to an umpire and say, look, we need to halt this game. Right now it seems like that was just a case of him missing some pitches. It didn't really seem to be like a situation where it was a wild pitch, but it is something to monitor as we go forward, as Boris hammers that off of the Duraflame hotspot. Almost hit the fireplace. We got a couple fans over there underneath the wood awning enjoying the fire on this cozy, cold kind of weather here in Northern California. So it's a 0-1 count to Boris. Earlier today, about half an hour before first pitch, it really looked like it was going to be hard to get this one in, as we had a driving rain. But it's been light to moderate from that point forward, and we actually had a window of complete dryness, essentially. So it's a testament to this grounds crew staff here at Pacific that have done a great job of getting this field ready for the Tags. 1-1 to Boris. Howard will check on the runner Yackel at first base, but nothing doing. I think Northern Colorado is kind of looking at that pickoff move, especially with Howard on the mound, as an option here with the success it had when Mejia was caught off of first base with 2 down. Boris is going to float one ahead of the right fielder, and taking third on the play is going to be Yackel. So now it looks like Boris is going to head into second on the throw. The throw kind of caromed away from the third baseman, Yamaguchi. So Boris takes the extra base. We have runners on second and third with 1 out. Back to the top of the order for Kevin Sandry. So Tigers again in business here as the bottom of the order again kind of making it work. They've done well all year to kind of set it up for the big guns. 8 and 9 hitters. Again, Sandry, Boris, Mejia, Yackel, these kind of guys that have been excelling in the bottom of the order. And it looks like that's going to be the end of the night or of the day for Howard, as he's going to trot off here with 1 out in the 4th inning. Really a good job by Howard to kind of stabilize and get this game to the true relievers. I think it's really important in a game like this where a starter's knocked out so early that you have that guy that's a bridge and can get outs and can kind of eat innings. And he did a good job at that. He pitched 2 2/3, giving up 3 hits, 1 walk, a strikeout, facing 10 batters, and is responsible for obviously the 2 runners at second and third base. But just a job to kind of stabilize it after the disappointing start from Leadholm is big for this Northern Colorado squad, as they're only down 2 here. And they're going to go into the pen for number 30, who is Cody Carroll, the right-handed pitcher out of Elliston, Montana, and Treasure Valley Community College. We'll give you the stat report on Mr. Carroll. Cody Carroll, 0-1 on the season with a 7.36 ERA, 3 2/3 innings, gave up 5 hits, 4 runs, 3 earnings, 5 walks so far on the season. So another one of these relievers for Northern Colorado that's kind of struggled to find good consistency out there. They've had 9 relievers that have given up or have ERAs that are over 6 right now. So it's a situation where early in the season, some of these results, for example, the loss to Kansas and Wichita State in the first 2 games really hurt those ERAs, but they're bringing them down here with the thought of coming to Stockton and hopefully playing some pitcher's duels out here. Now it looks like we're going to have a conference between Mike New and Northern Colorado head coach Carl Iwasaki and the umpires, as it looks like we may be facing a rain delay here in the bottom of the 4th inning. I didn't think the rain was driving hard enough to really result in the cancellation or delay of this game, but I thought it was an interestingly timed pitching change there, and it kind of might have inspired the grounds crew to make a decision here, as it looks like the tarp will come out. Again, there has been a lot of passing showers throughout the day here. This might be one of those where you might be hitting a window that we've kind of penciled in for 5 or 6 p.m. where it looks like there's going to be some heavier precipitation falling here in Stockton, and there's also been the chance of lightning in the area. So the weather forecast is always a part of our job here, and we're monitoring it closely. Obviously, it's coming down enough for them to warrant the tarp here. Both coaches are talking to this umpire staff. But with the tarp on the field, we are certainly going into a weather delay here in Stockton, as the Tiger team pulling their own tarp, as is pretty customary in college baseball. So good on them for getting their field covered here. You never want a situation where you have pitchers starting and stopping, and that kind of thing. So we're going to have to wonder and see if Leiden will come back out after this delay, or if the Tigers will make the move to the bullpen. Tigers with a deeper bullpen than usual, with a lot of guys, a lot of pitching depth, especially which was on display in the loss to San Jose State. We saw the Tigers essentially play a bullpen game where each guy was going 1 or 2 innings in the midweek game. And with so much uncertainty about the forecast this weekend, I would not be surprised to see Leiden, take a rest and maybe be penciled in for next Tuesday's start against South Dakota State. Because you just never know. You don't want your young guy to heat up and then go take a seat, come back. Obviously not an issue for Northern Colorado, as they're already in the bullpen in this stage of the game. Now it looks like the coaching staffs have cleared the field entirely, so we're going to step aside for a bit on the Pacific Digital Network, as it is now a certain rain delay here with the tarp on the field at Klein Family Field. Once again, the score is Pacific 4 runs on 8 hits and 1 error. For Northern Colorado, 2 runs on 3 hits and no errors. There is 1 out in the bottom of the 4th inning, and there is 1 runner on first base for Pacific. And we will step away now, and we'll give you some updates as we find out more here about what the weather situation is and what time we may begin play again. So for Kern McCauley, I'd like to invite you to join us again when the rain delay ends. You're listening to the Pacific Digital Network and the W.TV. Tiger fans, we are back here on the Pacific Digital Network and the W.TV. It is 5:42 p.m. here on Friday night. And unfortunately, we have to report that this game will be called for the rest of the night. We are not sure if it will be a suspended game picked up tomorrow or if this one will just be completely washed out. But there will be no more baseball here tonight at Klein Family Field. So we regret to inform you that, but we will be here throughout the weekend, Saturday and Sunday, giving you live coverage of Pacific Tigers baseball. For the latest on the Pacific Tigers baseball team, be sure to follow at Pacific Baseball on Twitter and Instagram. And for the latest on Pacific Athletics, visit PacificTigers.com. Once again, for this rain-shortened broadcast, we'll leave you with the score Pacific 4 and Northern Colorado 2. This is Curran McCauley signing off from the Pacific Digital Network and the W.TV. See you tomorrow. Have a great night, everyone.